All right, Gurutaj, I think we're live back again. Uh, what's going on today? We having second episode again?
Oh, yes, definitely. We are
Not
having
second, the
our
fourth
fourth
episode, not
mayor
second.
today. Yeah, yeah. Second
Okay,
for the day.
so
Yeah,
second for the day. Yes, yes. So I was keeping you surprised, and you surprised me now too. Okay, good to know. All right, guys. Good evening, Tracy. Again, one more time. I'm your host, Raj Singh. I have a co-chair, co-host, my friend Gurtej Atwal. I tricked him this whole day today, and he tricked me end of the day by having another episode for mayoral candidate. So we are again with you to bring another person who is from the Tracy mayor race, who will be joining us in a couple seconds. And Gurtej, why don't you uh, bring our guest and see who we have on our show tonight?
sure.
Hey, thank you. Welcome, both of you guys. How are you?
Welcome, Abdul. We are doing good. So before we give the platform to you, I'll just briefly introduce our guest, Mr. Abdul Wahid. So, Mr. Abdul Wahid, he's living in the city of Tracy for more than 2 decades. He is a Pacific Islander with roots to the beautiful islands of Fiji. So Abdul Wahid has a great track record of leadership. So he has been globally to the big companies, the multinational companies, leading those organizations. And his main expertise is telecommunication. He runs his own company to solve the problems related to telecommunication. He is the founder of Tracy Islamic Center, member of Measure V Oversight Committee, and involved in coaching soccer to our younger generation. Now, I'll request you, Abdul, please shed some more light about yourself to introduce yourself to our audience.
Thank you, Raj and Gurutej. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. And before I begin, let me first thank the people who are on the front line of COVID-19 pandemic and working long hours, risking their lives to keep us in Tracy safe. Secondly, I'd really thank the residents of Tracy who have adjusted their lifestyle to combat the coronavirus. For those that have lost their loved ones due to this pandemic, I feel your pain. Together, we'll get over this. Sat Sri Akal to my fellow Tracy Sikh community. Hello, Tracy. Peace and blessings be on you all. Good evening to those who are listening to me from the confines of the beautiful settings. It is my pleasure to be here and meet you all virtually and talk to you why I want you to elect me to be your next mayor of Tracy. Like many of you who have come to this great country, I am an immigrant. Your struggle are my struggle too. I am Abdul Wahid. I'm a grandson of a farmer from Punjab, India, who moved to Fiji during the neglected labor system. I'm a Pacific Islander. We are peaceful people. We integrate with people from any country, anywhere in the world. I moved to Tracy in 1995 with my wife and two small boys, aged 4 and 2 years old at that time. And when I moved to Tracy here, it was a small city with a population of only about 25,000 people and had maybe one or two street lights. 11th Street was a two-way street divided by shrubs and bushes and everything. And life was slow, traffic was less, crime was not there ahead of. It was a perfect place to raise my two children and have a peace of mind for me after work. In fact, this was the only place I could afford a house of my own. Being a single breadwinner in the house, my wife, even though had many talents, decided to become a full-time mother, looked after my kids. I worked in Pleasanton. 580 was a breeze for me. 20 minutes, I'm across the ultimate pass. No traffic, no road rage, and no police to be seen around. By profession, I'm a telecommunications engineer, having gained my certificates from a London technical school, and I had been at the bleeding edge of technology all my lifetime. I've traveled around the globe, delivered, taught, support some of the world's largest telecommunications and projects. In my journey to these countries, I've seen, I've learned, and I've observed a lot of things that has changed my character towards people, place, and things. I value fairness and accountability. I had been involved in soccer since I was a kid, first as a player, playing at a national audience level, I've been a coach, an administrator, and a mentor. I've coached at both national and international level. I've been a coach in QISL working with children under 6, under 8, and under 12. In 2005, I coached junior varsity soccer team in Dubai. As any soccer parents, I travel with my kids to the practice games and social activities. As a sport administrator, I got involved in the formation, wrote constitution and bylaws for sport organizations to support youth from Fiji. In 1998, I was the president and represented USA at the International Sports Festival in Fiji. In 2000, I was the founder of Tracy Islamic Center on Larch Road. I bought the property, donated to Tracy Islamic Center. I had been the Board of Trustees chairman up until 2010, and I attend both Islamic centers in Tracy to do my prayers and give advice that affect the people of Tracy. That's my introduction to you guys today.
Thank you very much, Abdul, for letting us know you better. So I can correlate with you. I'm also a telecommunication engineer, and this is the fastest grown industry that I have seen. So from a small cell phone or maybe no cell phone, now we are going towards the 5G, fiber optic. There's no end to the connectivity that we can have now. And I can see your vision, so and what you could be bringing to our city. So now I'll hand over to Raj.
So no, definitely this is incredible knowledge that I actually gained from you. The amount of time and the amount of you moved here back in 1995. You literally have seen the city grown from a 25,000 population to 100,000. And that being said, being in the networking industry, I think the reason we are connected today, right now, sitting in our houses in this pandemic, it's because of the educating technology and because of the networking infrastructure that's being put in the world out there. And you are working in the heart of that technology. So that's incredible and wonderful to know. And again, I think we are here to know as a mayor, if you get elected for Tracy, what's your vision overall? What kind of changes or where you see the city you would put what kind of direction you would put this city towards? So that is, I think we should need to highlight for our voters, highlight for the residents of the Tracy.
Yes, Raj, this is a great question. And let me tell you what now, if I start talking about technology, I can talk whole night and I can keep talking, it'll never end because I've been at the bleeding edge of technology all my life. But this is not about talking technology. This is about the lifestyle of people we live in Tracy, about what it is all about. And that is the reason why I'm here today. Having lived in Tracy for 25 years, I can understand the concerns of the people. As a consultant for many smart city projects, I have the experience needed to help improve the quality of life for the beautiful city of Tracy. As Tracy grows, the need for development grows as well. My hope is to see a vision of what I call a connected Tracy. As a mayor, I pledge to bring the city back to the people rather than the narrow spectrum of views that have continuously dominated here for the past few years. My vision is to see people of Tracy happy, connected to the surrounding areas around them. As we develop better ways, we envision ourselves as a community. Overcrowding, congested traffic, and depleting infrastructures are some of the problems I'd like to see resolved with proper planning and programs to protect our neighborhood. I support Connected Tracy concept with a new full service hospital enabling R&D facilities, and I insist on a plan to encourage public-private partnerships for commercial enterprises and light rail systems that improves our air quality and environment. Let's make Tracy stronger, smarter, and more enjoyable. And I can continue with my vision. And my vision for making Tracy better, smarter, and enjoyable covers all aspects of Tracy. The journey will not be easy. However, it is not difficult. Right? I'm not a politician, nor am I a member of any political party. My campaign is funded by the people of Tracy with maximum of $5 donation. I'm here to represent the people of Tracy and have no desire to seek offices in the county, state, or the national level. And why am I running for the mayor? That is a good question. Everybody wants to know, why am I running for the mayor? There are other candidates out there. They've got good ideas, good visions, but my vision is totally different from what they are thinking. In 2018, after a long time watching from the sideline, I went to the city council meeting to see what my elected officials were up to. That was the first time I attended a city council. There, to my surprise, I found a scene that you normally see in a village gang dispute. Name calling, allegations, demeaning the members reminded me that the scenes that I normally saw during my worldwide travel. And when a member of the staff stands up and promotes 5G as a technology to attract high-tech industries, it concerned me. I addressed the council, I introduced myself as a technology consultant to smart cities, and I could help the city move in that direction to attract high-paying jobs and technical companies to the city. Since that time, I became a regular at the city council meetings and had the pleasure of meeting many of the people who are serving there now. I met with the current mayor, the council members, and even the city manager and discussed on the idea of making Tracy a smart city. In 2018, as I said, I volunteered myself to City of Tracy Measure V Fund, appointed to vice chair that same year. As of January of 2020, I hold the chair for Measure V Fund, Citizens Oversight Committee, which monitors the use of Measure V Fund. I have brought up issues and changes that are needed on report to give transparency to the citizens. When the city sent out letters to increase water rates, I know everybody got that. I stood up for the citizens and demanded an explanation as to why rates were needed to be raised. I urged the council not to raise the rates, but it was approved on the basis of technicality of the responses. So I intend to make sure that citizens are informed in simple terms rather than a technical jargon that might not be understood by a lot of us. In April of last year, I addressed the concerns of immigrants to the council, citing the massacre in New Zealand mosque. I addressed the council and asked what precautions are taken by the police to safeguard the immigrant population here in Tracy. A few months later, one of us was married in the park. These things are not happening at the spur of the moment, but sometimes are premeditated. Shortly after that incident, I again approached the city of Tracy to help solve park safety and security. My presentation to the city involved using technology to track, trace, and apprehend the people who commit crimes in the boundaries of the city. When staff members and councils do not adapt technology to solve problems, something needs to be changed. This reminds me of my time doing a project for the state of Texas. And I tell you, this is a true story. When I introduced technology in the state of Texas, I was told by some members of the staff that they do not want to spoil their retirement future by introducing foreign things and later part of the employment. I am here to represent the people of Tracy and have no desire to basically take to the next level of my career. I was invited by the city of police when they confiscated illegal weapons in Tracy. I asked the chief, are any of the weapons modified to make mass casualties? There was no answer. So we have to make everyone accountable for what they are tasked to do. And I intend to push for those things to make Tracy better. During one of the council meetings, I asked the council to provide information on average cost per employee per city. I did not get an answer. And when 47% of taxpayers' money is spent on staff salaries, I think we, the people, have legitimate questions to ask. And that is why I'm running for the mayor of Tracy. And when our elected officials work for government, and then they sit on the negotiating table to negotiate the benefits for other government officials, I think we, as citizens, have the right to ask questions. People who are civil servants should not be allowed to negotiate for other civil servants, and when they are council members. That is why I want to bring the city back to the people. When elected officials have an eye for higher offices in political career, questioning those in the county or state levels is compromise. Do you know that out of every property tax dollar, the city only gets 20 cents? I raised this issue with the council and was advised that is how it has been. So that is why we need someone who can stand up to the county and negotiate a better revenue for city. Many of us might not know the behavior of our elected officers resulted in a grand jury investigation. The city lost close to 500,000 in that battle, and we are here again, hearing from the same people that they want to improve the city. People like them should not be elected to the public service if they can behave themselves. That is why my campaign is people's campaign. Let's look at our infrastructure. These are the visions I'm trying to put down on the road on platform right now. Our roads are getting worse day by day. Our neighborhood is getting littered with debris and trash. Our parks are becoming shelter homes. The residents are getting frustrated because street cleaners neglect their job. Car theft, package theft, home burglary have got us scratching our heads. What is going on in our city? It used to be a very nice and pleasant city to live in. Fixing problem the old way has not worked. It's just a band-aid that comes back again after we dispose it. Look at Grant Line Road. It has cracks as wide as an inch waiting for an accident to happen. When heavy loaded trucks travel through our streets, we need to ask, are our infrastructure able to handle the heavy load? I brought this issue with one of the council members, and I was told this is normal. Our roads need immediate attention, or we are waiting for major tragedies to happen there. COVID-19 has showed us one thing. Our hospitals are not capable of handling a major disaster. Sarah Hospital had a total patient revenue of over $455 million in 2018 alone. And yet, this is the only hospital we have with 77 staff bed hospital. We need another full service hospital in Tracy along with R&D capabilities. This will bring in high paying and high quality jobs to Tracy. Yet our council does not see the future of our citizens. When a 90-year-old patient has to go to Modesto for a simple 30-minute consultation, I think it's an issue. That is why we need people who understand the humanity and not the bank rolled by special interest groups. In one of the council meetings after our 2018 election, I pointed out that many of the candidates are funded by people from outside of Tracy. When over 65% of your campaign dollars are from people outside of Tracy, where does your loyalty stand? That is why my campaign is funded by the people of Tracy, and they only contribute $5 towards that. When special groups fund these council members, they don't see what people want, but they do see what the special group wants. When we have Bay Area papers running advertisement on housing development in Tracy, we have an issue here. We need affordable housing in Tracy. I would like to see that housing prices are based on local Tracy wage scale, not the Bay Area scale. This is the reason I'm running for the mayor of Tracy. Our roads, streets, parks, neighborhood need to be safe so that your children and my children should not live in fear, dirty, and neglected environment. When my city uses paid labor to put banners on 11th Street only to take them off a few weeks later, I think there are things we can do better than that. We have two internet service providers that dominate Tracy residents, Comcast and AT&T, and their services are neither reliable nor cheap. Right at the moment, our children are basically doing home studies. And I tell you, majority of the network either goes down, it doesn't even come up, and you don't know where to call. And even if you call, it goes to somebody in Philippines who says, "Thank you, sir, I'm here to help you." Right? Comcast and AT&T use our taxpayer conduit to run their cable. When I ask city officials that these companies pay only 5% royalty for every phone, I'm telling you, every phone in the house, and free broadcast channel for the city. Now, in this modern technology, who has a home phone right now? Nobody uses a landline phone. So there's no royalty. There's no royalty coming in. We need a mayor who understands the technology. And I want to see broadband is made as the fourth utility for the people. What I mean by fourth utility? Fourth utility is like your PG&E, your water, and your garbage. You are regulated. You keep your prices to a point where you can support. And then if the system goes down, you are demanded by the government to be in service within certain time. Quality of service becomes very important. So fourth utility for broadband is something that we need to strive for, because now this COVID might not be there, will be there for the next couple of years. Remote working, home working, remote schooling is something that we have to basically look into, and we need to have a good broadband for that. Tracy is also becoming a home to many disadvantaged dreamers. What I mean by disadvantaged dreamers, these are the people who have no place to live, nowhere to work, and no support to survive. And when I brought this issue to a sitting council member, I was told, this is not city's problem. It might not be, but it's a humanitarian problem, right? When you and I go and apply for a job, the applications ask for residential address. How can this disadvantaged people give an address when they don't have a place to live? The county gives funds to NGOs to supply and feed these disadvantaged people. How can these people go to NGO facilities when they can't even walk? We need to work with the county and build a controlled shelter city for these disadvantaged people. Instead of making these people go to places to get services, let's bring the services to them, right? Accountability and success rate should be measured on how many people we put back in the productive society and not letting them end their lives on the pavement. A bold but achievable vision for the city of Tracy includes a new downtown area with modern amenities such as high-tech, high-end industries, exciting nightlife for the teens, state-of-the-art transportation system to complement the proposed light rail project, and with large convention center, offices, retails, and apartment buildings, all in an exclusive carbon-free footprint. Why I want this? Companies don't go to places where they don't have amenities. Right? If we have a convention center that we can attract industries to come and give the presentation over here, this is your first door to high-tech industry. And in order to build that convention center to attract people, we need to have an infrastructure, right? City of Tracy has a downtown now, right? The buildings are historic and carry centuries of Tracy history. My vision is to keep the historic Tracy as a tourist destination and build a modern Tracy. This is how you attract industries here to open their offices. On the education front, I had been involved with Tracy Unified School District IT team to understand the needs in order to be part of the connected Tracy concept. The Tracy Unified District IT director indicated that if City of Tracy have their own fibering, apart from safety reason, it would save them money on fibering they use from a third party. Let us make our schools part of the connected Tracy so that teachers, children, parents, and libraries are all connected. City of Tracy has a transport mitigation report and a master plan. These plans are written by consultants who have no idea what the other plan is all about. As such, we end up having duplicate services which cost taxpayer money to build and support. Post-COVID, we have to revisit these plans and remove duplicates to save money for the city. I intend to get this moving forward. Tracy Police have their own fiber network. Public Works have their own fiber network. Why not build a Tracy fiber network and bring Tracy Police, Public Works, City of Tracy, TUSD, and people all connected? I already have a vision for that. Please visit mayor2020election.com to see the detailed vision. Finally, City of Tracy needs a mayor who believes in the people of Tracy and not outsiders who tell us how to run our city. I believe in people living in Tracy who have greater stakes here. That is why this campaign is supported by the people here. I'm here to bring this city back to these people. Please visit my website, mayor2020election.com, or Facebook at Abdul Wahid Mayor, A Wahid for Mayor 2020, or my Twitter handle, A Wahid for Mayor. Let us all, all join hands and make Tracy better, smarter, and enjoyable. Imagine what you can do for Tracy and not what Tracy can do for you. Thank you. God bless you all, and God bless City of Tracy. That is my vision
Thank
for the
you.
city.
That is amazing, Abdullah. My God, you literally touched every single point that Tracy is facing, what Tracy needs, not just only for currently what the situation demands, but looking
Yep.
into what do we need 5 years, 10 years down the road for our upcoming generation. Because with the COVID, like you said, COVID has been teaching us a lot of different things, the way we living. This is the new normal.
Exactly.
So kids are working, kids are not going to school, they're doing the schooling from home or remote. There are a lot of jobs, including myself. I'm working remotely. All this is happening because of the technology. We definitely need somebody who understands the technology to bring that change, to keep our future in that direction that everybody needs, everybody demands for it. And without that, we won't be able to move forward. Just not only about the politics, just overall your vision, your ideas, they are very realistic. So we need to hear them seriously. We need to think about them seriously because this is something gonna be changing very soon. That's how I'm thinking because that's personally we all are facing that right now. And
Oh yeah,
Gurtej is
exactly.
working in the corporate. I'm sorry, he's working. in the engineering side too, and he's working from home. And all we are able to do all this is with the cutting edge technology. And in order to move forward, we need somebody, some brains like that, in order to make our city more valuable and more attractive for others to bring more businesses. And that's what I would say. And I'm gonna give it to Gurtej. Gurtej, please chime in if I missed anything to highlight what Abdul said.
Yeah, no, I want to thank Abdul for bringing up the issues in day-to-day lives of Tracy residents. I am facing those issues in my day-to-day life. Audience is facing them. So just as COVID has brought up to a scenario
Yeah.
where 54% of our households in Tracy have children lower than 18 years of age. So
Yeah,
those
and
kids, they are just at the schools, they are homeschooling, their parents, they are working from home. So not to go far, just my personal example. So the schools have started, so kids have to just kind of adjust to the scenario. So every time it's buffering, the Zoom meetings, it's buffering. Sometimes
yep.
his buffering, sometimes his friends buffering, sometimes his teacher's Zoom meeting is buffering. So what's the solution? There's no solution. I called the company, they said no. Whatever we have, that's the best we can, because they don't have any incentive. And
Exactly.
big companies like Facebook, Google, they have already advertised that in coming 10 or 15 years, everything will be remote.
Oh yeah.
How,
Oh yeah.
yeah, how can those achieved? And I kind of read about you, Abdul. So you were kind of involved in a project which brought us to a point where we can say it is a global village. So you were part of the undersea fiber optic project. So those are the things that we read, we listen, but yeah, that is the reality. We have to move towards that. And one last thing I would say, for Tracy in 19th century, Tracy was built like a Central Pacific Railroad lines. Those were being brought
Yep.
in. That brought in the development for the city of Tracy. With your ideas, with your focus, so I can see that. Yes. So now it's not the railroad that is now the
Yep.
priority, is the connected city.
Exactly.
Thank,
And this is my vision basically. And this vision I have basically I'm not talking from a fiction. I have actually done it.
yes,
I went and built smart cities around the world. And when you build cities, US has been pretty slow and behind in this technology, and now it has affected them big time.
right,
And so these ISPs, Comcast and AT&T, you call them how many times you call them,
yeah,
they'll never give you the right answer. The whole Comcast system that people are talking about, broadband, I was the architect behind that. I developed them in the New Jersey lab and then rolled out to a lot of cities. Before that, after that, I left the whole technology. So, I know how to bring the city together from the connected point of view. And as I said, when you talk about technology, it's very passionate to me. I can go on and on and on, and I can talk about
right,
everything that I've done in my lifetime. So that's why I want to make sure that city of Tracy has got a very solid fiber infrastructure in place, which will be the foundation of everything that we can do on top of that. If you want to bring in a light rail system, we don't have to go back and dig the drains again. It's already there. Connect to a light rail system, we are up and running. Right? If you want to bring our street lights, basically make it all electronics. Instead of sending somebody to get your banners up and down on 11th Street, put some TV station monitors over there. At the click of a button, you can change any information at any moment. Even you can get your vendors over here want to promote the product. You can use them. Let's use the technology to basically elevate ourselves. And my goal is basically, once we get this connected Tracy concept, this becomes the beacon of the Central Valley. And I tell you, every high-tech company when I start coming over here, because they say this is a connected place, I can basically do things that I want to do. And that's the direction we have to go. People, when politicians say that I will get a high-tech job over there, it's a politician's promise. I call them PP, right? It's a politician's promise. They'll never get them over here because I deal with the executive levels. I talk to a lot of executives. One of my jobs was talking to executive people in executive briefing center. And they don't want to come down to a place where they don't have any physical infrastructure. So first of all, let's get a physical infrastructure in place, get fiber to every home. Let's get everybody connected, then move to the next level. I know it will be difficult. There'll be a lot of opposition. There'll be a lot of groups that are going to go against this, but we can do it. I've seen it done, and we can do it. And Tracy can do it too.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And guys, I just want to make you guys be mindful of the time. We're trying to keep it at 30
Yeah.
minutes and we're hitting that time frame. But again, no rush. The floor is still yours. And Abdul, I think the kind of we can wrap it up in a way. You have provided such a great and wealth of knowledge about your vision and the kind of expertise you have. So I think that we can wrap up in a way that why don't you tell us what are your main top priorities and top issues that Tracy's facing and that you will be working? Just very briefly summarize it, and then we can wrap up after that.
Great. And let's look at post-COVID-19, right? COVID-19 has shown that we are in a position that nothing will be there for a long time. A normal life is not going to be there. A normal school system will not be there. A normal hospitals will not be there. Even our city offices are closed right now. So we need to make sure that now we are prepared after COVID-19. What COVID-19 says that we need to build our infrastructure. Let's get it up and running to the point where everybody's connected. Right? Secondly, we need to have a good hospital. God forbid there's another disaster over here, right? Before this COVID-19 came in, I wrote a small piece in one of the social media and said, no, guys, we are having issues with the hospital. And I got a backlash that you are too much of like an alarmist. I said, listen, guys, I'm not an alarmist. I see a problem coming in over here. And let's see what the problem is. I even personally called up the San Joaquin County District guy, Mr. Elliott, and said, hey, Mr. Elliott, now what are you doing for Tracy? Because we're having problems. I forced him. I said, we need testing to be done before testing ever started in Tracy. I even called him on the phone. I sent email letters and I said, let's start testing in Tracy. And they were saying, no, we're not going to do it. Look, we want to do the testing. And I forced them. I said, let's get it done. So those things, I really want to see the post-COVID is a reset button for everybody. Right? Let's get back to our basic, what we do good. Let's fix them and make them better. What our roads need, because our roads are getting congested with people coming in over here. Is it capable of handling it? At the same time, make Tracy a connect Tracy. And once we have all those things in places, the infrastructure in place, the rest of the things will just follow slowly into this.
That's wonderful. And good age, please feel free to chime in and say anything at the last to wrap up.
Yeah, no, it is very informative. Yes, we have the issues, but how those can be solved based on the resources that we have. So thank you very much for sharing your thoughts, the audience, including myself, so including Raj, we can now understand so where things are moving and how things can be in our future. So everybody has a different thought process, but yes, issues are there. We have to use our resources to fix them unitedly.
Yes.
Thank you.
It's everybody has to do it together. We are all in the team.
Yes. And
Great.
at the end, I would say that, yeah, please go ahead, Raj.
Nothing. I was just gonna say a word. Just great to have you on the show today, and it was wonderful. And it's wealth of knowledge that you're carrying with me, with you. And thank you for sharing with me and with us. So we all learned a lot. So I'm glad we got in touch. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for your time. Thank you, everybody, for listening, and God bless you all.
Yeah,
Thank
and
you.
at the end, I would say for any questions, please visit the website that Abdul Wahid has or send us the questions. We'll forward it to him for more clarification. Thank you very much and very good evening to everybody. Have a wonderful weekend to Tracy.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.